by the picture, you guys might be thinking, what is this? A mob psycho? Like, what if Deku wants you already have a Deku? What if? To be exact, this is not a Deku what if. It is a Naruto what if. It's not Naruto. What if Naruto had Mob Psycho's power? Or Mob's, Mob power, but instead, it's what if he had psychic powers. So what I mean by psychic, I don't mean a specific type, not telekinesis, flame control, or anything like that. He can use any of them. He has no special attribute for one. He's like an even. He's completely neutral on his skills with this. But it doesn't say that he's not powerful with them. So, explain how he gets this power. I'm going to take it as the evolution of chakra, or evolution of a human body's power, overflowing to a point that it evolves into a sort of magical power, magical to the people of Naruto, by how chakra works to them. So, his power of all the generations of his Uzumaki bloodline would kind of build up into an evolution, giving him this psychic power. So yeah. So whenever he's a child, they would feel the chakra, since it still is chakra, around his body, which even a regular Jonin or Shinobi has chakra leak out of their body, but they don't know why his chakra is noticeable as a kid. But he would have a thin layer of chakra whenever the Nine Tails attacked. He would still be brought in front of all the council and all that. And they would notice by the chakra around him. Of course, it would die down after a while and it would disappear, but it will still confuse them. In the council's eyes, they think that this is the power of the Nine Tails sleeping through him, but they don't know that it's not. Jiraiya would never get Naruto, just like he did in canon, and Naruto would be put in the same home as he was. Being in his home, thinking why he's so different, why does everybody hate him, he would get angry and clench his fist. Clenching his fist, the mirror behind him, and all the glass in his house would start crackling, which he would hear. He would get up, looking around, as his hand clenches tighter, it would completely break everywhere. And this is whenever his energy would pop back up. Of course, he has not had much time to know what his powers are, since he's just 4 to 3. But seeing this, and seeing the energy on his hand, he would be confused. And would think, is this why people think I'm different? Of course, he would kind of freak out since he just broke all the glass in his home. And he thinks that the landlord would be angry at him, she might kick him out. So, what happens is that he would stick his hand out saying, go back, go back, go back. And what would happen is that the glass would kind of fix itself. Which he would see as that's pretty interesting. But of course, at first, he would only think that he has some ability to control stuff around him and break it. not no other abilities. But he would train on this ability, and he learned this tactic that he created, which he used to pretty much fling himself across the floor and ground. Almost looking like he's teleporting, but he's moving fast with his psychokinesis. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But he would pretty much completely speed like everybody else in his class whenever this happened. Since they must have to have school before the academy, it's probably natural that they would. So, yeah. So he would have some kind of reason and sense to fight and all of that, and how to train, or have some skills and learning and all that. But, of course, on the running, he would pretty much beat all of them. And while playing with, or I'll say running away from some people trying to stop him disgracing the Kage's face, he would pretty much blast himself around the corners, looking like he's bouncing off wall to wall. This still costs him stamina, but he seems called the Yellow Flash, or the Orange Flash, since the jacket that he wears is orange. Because he flings himself around as if he's teleporting in high speeds. Completely blinks in everybody. So, whenever people see him flash through the town for the first time being chased, as people were like that kid's the brat and all that, you see how he completely disappears. But he wouldn't just rely on this ability because he knows he's not as fast as that is in the real time how he is. So he would come up with physical training also, since he has not learned that he can enhance his body with his ability yet. So he would have trained his body with it, of course, but his level of strength, I would say, would match Sasuke with his telekinesis speeding him up. He has figured out a way to slam his body into people full force, throwing stronger attacks like he never do. But this, depending on how strong he throws his attack, it could harm his body, since his body can't handle that. Is not really meant for that type of strength at all. So whenever he does this, he's pretty much crushing his bones at that high speeds into somebody. So yeah, he would have to train his body to withstand some of that pressure until it is time for the academy. In the academy, things would do differently since he's interested in ninja, but he still is same on Naruto, so he would pull pranks. But one of these pranks would go to Sasuke. This prank would evolve with Sasuke coming into the door and having a racer fall on his head. And all that. Of course, Sasuke would get mad and would challenge him to a fight, as he would if Naruto ever did that probably. which everybody would get excited of since they have not had combat training yet at all. But Naruto would go outside with Sasuke, and people would go up there yelling, fight, 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 fight. So, when they're out there, Naruto's not intending to use any of his powers. He would call it jutsus, of course. But he would be pretty much an even match until Sasuke puts on his finesse, with him having more combat experience from his father, which Naruto would see as he would slightly enhance one of his fists by throwing his punch into him with rocking his fist with his psychokinesis or telekinesis, either or. I'm pretty sure it should be psychokinesis, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. Don't even believe me, but yeah. Which people would see as his fist would glow for a minute, turning orange, and he'd completely rock Sasuke with this punch. Sasuke blocking it, ending up with his fist broke. And then with Naruto's fist broke from the punch, and Sasuke's arm completely shattered through both of them, as if he was hit by a truck in the modern day world. But yeah, Sasuke would see as Naruto would clench his hand with his broken fingers and fists while he says to him that he wins. Wow, Sasuke passes out. But Sasuke's mind is just how powerful he is. That one blow, he broke through my arms, but at the same time, his punch were too strong for his body, and he completely destroyed his fist. So, after he pretty much demonstrates his power to the class, and Naruto would come out there seeing two of his students with broken bones and injured, with scrapes and bruises from their fight earlier. He'll be confused, but it wouldn't matter. Since I'm pretty sure this world ended off, I am gonna do the Shippuden part of What If Naruto Was Full Uzumaki. But, I'm trying to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do. Since, Shippuden I have not did much of. I don't think I did one story on Shippuden and all that, and I kind of speed through it. And I want to add more details to it, spicy it up. Spicy the meatballs. So yeah. I'll give you the next part. I say right after this, probably. Goodbye.